Hey, y'all doing? This is Preacher Man RB, and this is another Arrow Reviews Wednesdays, and this week is Season 1, Episode 8, and what happens on this week's episode is the first Arrow and Flash crossover. And what happens is, Barry's going after this metahuman, in the comics his name's Rainbow Raider, and he controls colors. And what they did with the TV show, they made it where he has these powers in his eyes, and he can make you feel any emotion he wants, but the only emotion they really touched on in this episode was anger. And Cisco starts calling him Prism, I think that's what he starts calling him. Anyway, Barry's trying to figure out how to stop him, and what happens is Rainbow Raider robs this bank, and he makes everybody mad at each other, so they start fighting. That way there's a distraction, and he robs the bank and gets away. Well, after this, Barry's talking or trying to figure out who the Rainbow Raider is. I can't remember which. But Arrow comes and stops whoever he's talking to or fighting, and we find out that Oliver's in Central City, and the reason he's in Central City is because he's trying to figure out about Captain Boomerang's boomerang. And I ain't touched on these episodes of Arrow yet, and we'll get to that when I review Season 3. That's going to be later on down the line. But anyway, what's happening is he brings the boomerang to Star Labs, and Cisco and them analyze it. And he gets Felicity to take it because he don't want nobody else knowing his secret identity. And Felicity talks to Professor Wells. Professor Wells wants to know who the Arrow is, and she says it's not her secret to give, and he said, okay, I'll find out on my own. And what happens is Barry starts training with Oliver, and Barry's getting frustrated because he knows that Oliver's right, but he don't want to admit it because Barry goes in running blind, and he could be scouting out the area because of super speed, but he doesn't do that. He just goes in blind, and he gets him in situations that he doesn't need to be in. And Oliver's trying to get him to realize that. So they train, and tensions are bowling, and then Barry decides to go after Rainbow Raider himself and gets whammied, and you can tell it affects him, but with his powers is fighting it off, so the effects of the anger is hitting him slower, and that's even worse because when anger builds, it gets bigger and bigger until a big explosion, and that's not good. And what happens is Barry goes off on his captain in the precinct, and Joe sees Barry's eyes glow, and Joe tells everybody else that Barry's been whammied. And Professor Wells tells Felicity to call back Oliver Queen because we need the Arrow's help, and that shows that Professor Wells knows who Oliver Queen is. So Oliver and Barry fight this episode, and the whole time Barry's ducking Oliver's attacks, and Oliver lands one punch on him, and Barry starts hitting him with the super punches, and Oliver tricks him and gets him in a rear naked choke, and Joe and Professor Wells drive a van and start flashing all these lights because certain lights hinders the Rainbow Raider's effects of his powers, and they unwhammy Barry. And what else happens is Barry attacks Eddie Thawne, and this gets him and the Flash and Iris kind of grow apart like Barry wanted in the beginning, but now that he's got close to her as the Flash, he doesn't want to lose that, and he winds up losing. And that's really all that happened on this week's episode. They capture Rainbow Raider and put him in the pipeline, and we'll touch on that. I might have already reviewed that video, because I can't remember when I started reviewing Season 1 of The Flash, but if it is, it'll be on this on the Flash playlist, and if you want to find that, just go to my YouTube channel and find it that way. But anyway, my questions for y'all is, what do y'all think is going to happen now that the Flash and Iris is split ways? As always, this is Preacher Man RB signing out, guys.